Welcome to Brazilian Folk. Here is where you find legends and myths from Brazil. Today's tale, Boitatá. Once upon a time, in ancient times, there was a night that never ended. The sun had disappeared without warning, plunging the world into dense, mysterious darkness. Without daylight to warm the earth, the cold spread, and a strange silence took over the fields and cities. The trees, which once stood tall and majestic, began to wither, their leaves drying up and falling as if mourning the absence of the sun. Even the winds blew differently, whispering secrets no one could understand. But, as if the darkness itself were not punishment enough, the first drops of a cold, relentless rain began to fall from the sky. Rivers overflowed, lakes became seas, and the world seemed to dissolve beneath an endless ocean. Men, women, and children, along with the animals, sought refuge in the highest places on earth. They climbed hills, scaled mountains, and clung to what was left of their homes and hopes. They gazed at the sky, waiting for a sign, longing for the moment when the clouds would part and the sun would shine again. Among the animals that survived was a giant serpent called Boiguaçu. It lived in dark caves and had eyes that gleamed like stars. When the flood took over its lair, it swam to a mountain where it waited patiently. But soon hunger came and it needed to eat. It watched the weakened animals and waited for the right moment to strike. Its first target was a thin, feeble jaguar, and without hesitation, it swallowed it in one bite. Something strange happened at that moment. The jaguar's eyes, filled with a special glow, illuminated the inside of the serpent. Fascinated, Boiguaçu began to feed only on the eyes of its prey. With each meal, it absorbed more light. Its once dark body started to glow, turning into a living flame that cut through the night. Its new name became Boitatá, the fire snake, for its body shone like burning embers. The people who lived in the forest feared its mysterious light. They sat its leader silently between the trees, watching those who dared to disrespect nature. But Boitatá was not just an ordinary serpent. Its fire did not burn leaves or branches. On the contrary, it protected the forest. Over time, Boitatá realized that its strength came from the eyes of the creatures in the forest. But when food became scarce, it began to lose energy. Weakened, it withdrew to a quiet place and with one last breath released all the light it had accumulated inside. The glow was so intense that it dissipated the darkness covering the world. The sun shone once more, the forest revived, and the rivers followed their course. Boitatá, however, did not vanish completely. They say that on the darkest nights, its glow can still be seen slithering through the forest. It remains a warning to those who disrespect nature. Its enchanted fire does not set vegetation ablaze, but frightens those who seek to destroy it. Anyone who flees upon seeing Boitatá's light might be guilty of a crime against the forest. But those who respect nature and observe calmly will understand that its presence is merely a reminder that nature has its guardians. The elders always say, if you ever encounter Boitatá, stay still, hold your breath, and close your eyes. Do not try to run, as it may see this as a sign of guilt. Its gaze is so intense that it can blind the unsuspecting, and those who panic may be swallowed by its flames. But those who respect the forest and remain calm have nothing to fear. Boitatá simply watches and moves on. Some legends say that Boitatá is a wandering spirit, a soul that committed grave mistakes in life and now roams the forest as a blazing beacon. Others believe it is a guardian sent by the forest gods to protect wildlife. Whatever the truth, its presence inspires respect and care for nature. No one who disrespects the forests escapes its judgment. On the darkest nights, when there is no moon in the sky, some people still see a mysterious glow in the forest. They say it is Boitatá keeping watch, ensuring that no one destroys its home. If you ever come across a mysterious light deep in the forest, remember the legends of Boitatá. Do not be afraid, unless you have something to hide. If you are there only to admire nature, continue your journey and respect what surrounds you. But if you are there to destroy, be careful. The guardian of the forests may be watching and ready to act. That was all for Brazilian folk today. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Concepção, Eric Rasmussen. Roteiro, Eric Rasmussen e Débora Maciel. Tradução, Rosana Ponomavenko. Revisão 1, tradução, Lúcia Rabelo. Revisão 2, tradução, Jerusa Helena Andrulis. Locução, Felipe Grinan. Ilustração, Flávio Soares. Editor de áudio, Cláudio Brito. Técnico de áudio, Guilherme Henrique Brito. Legendagem, Guilherme Henrique Brito, Eric Rasmussen e Rosana Ponomavenko. Produção, Eric Rasmussen. Direção-geral, Eric Rasmussen. Este podcast foi apresentado como trabalho de conclusão de curso para a obtenção do título de radialista pelo Centro Universitário FIAM-FAAM. Professor Ricardo von Glenn Ponzineiras, vice-presidente e reitor. Professora Ana Cláudia Balda, diretora executiva de planejamento acadêmico. Professor Fernando Albino Leme, diretor acadêmico. Professora Isabela Goulart, coordenadora do curso de Rádio e TV. Professor Jorge Gonçalves, orientador.